Hello, Penny here from East Hertfordshire Family Centre Service. Now, water play is a fantastic activity for developing your children's hand and eye coordination as they learn to squeeze and pour and stir and paint with water. In actual fact, it's quite good fun as well. And it also introduces lots of mathematical and scientific concepts. A bit like if you've got your water and you've got a container. How much water do you think will fit into this bucket, this cup, this saucepan? They can sort of pour and they can guess. You can use lots of different size containers. And they might notice, your children, if you have different objects in your water, they might notice that some float and some sink. And it doesn't matter whether those things are large or whether they are small, it's irrespective of that. So I wonder why that is. So you can start introducing those words such as heavier and lighter. Now, if you've got a sponge, good old sponge, now that, if you put into the water, will float first of all. But as it absorbs more water, it sinks. Oh, that's interesting. That floated to start with, and now it's sinking. Why do you think that might be? So lots of questions you can ask with all sorts of random things that you can put and play with in the water. Children immerse themselves in water play, and they can have long periods of exploration and playing, and they can happily engage themselves on their own or cooperatively or with others sort of interacting. So look at pouring and tipping. Make a pouring station. Now you can use something like a washing up bowl, maybe a big mixing bowl, a baby bath, your paddling pool, a storage box, anything you've got that's sort of relatively deep at the sides, and you can put your water in. So have a collection of items. Your child might be quite happy to go and collect things too. So you've got measuring jugs, plant pots, and those are brilliant because they've got holes in, so you can use that and put the water in and then just watch it come out. Maybe you want to see if you can scoop and get some water into the jug. How quickly do you have to move that over? You can have empty containers and put holes into those yourselves. If you haven't got those plant pots, use empty bottles. So they've got handles and things. Use anything that's metal, plastic, even cardboard. So I'm going to put in my cardboard box. Cardboard's thick paper, that should be fine. So again, you can put that in. I'm scooping up some water. Brilliant. Oh, it's leaking out a bit there. But what happens to that cardboard? So there's all sorts of things that you can just use and provide, and those questions and comments and observations will come just quite independently from your child. As I said, with a sponge, they're great for strengthening hands because you can squeeze and squeeze and squeeze, and you can have your container. I wonder how many sponges it takes to fill my pot. So I just one. Oh, that was a lot of water. And squeeze it out. Oh, two. So you're counting as well. You can use things such as spoons, assorted spoons, for ladling the water in and counting. This one has a little hole in, so you can watch the drips, see how many drips. You've got your big spoon, got ladles, anything like that. Use your paintbrushes, your pastry brushes. Again, moving that round, water painting, painting on the concrete, whatever you like. So really, anything you've got, say sieves. And it's lovely when you've got that, if somebody wants to pour the water in and then the water trickles onto your hand, that's a lovely sensation and you can feel that. What about having coloured water? You could have 2 or 3 pots, maybe 3 with different colours in and 3 with just clear water in. So you could have a go at mixing your water. So what happens if I put a little bit of red into that one? Oh, I've made that red. If I'd got another colour, I could then maybe put the blue in. Now what happens if I add blue to my red? So I'm colour mixing as well. So just use food colourings like that to play with, and have a variety of different containers. And they can pour that in if you've got some ones that are wide and some that are more narrow. So again, that's that hand-eye coordination, pouring it in. Listen to the sound as it drips into there. And again, you can have the bottles like this, squeezy bottles. They're great for sort of squirting water. Mix that and then again put that on, and you can squirt water on the floor. If it's okay with each other, maybe at each other. But just use anything that you can find for playing with water. If you've got an old piece of drain pipe, you can create a river. Pour the water down the river. You could perhaps make your own river. Just use some foil. And if you want to secure it down the side, like a river has, you could maybe use stones down the side and just pour water down. If you've got different levels, what happens to the water if you have it higher up, if you have it lower down? It's just another way. You can use your boats. What will float down there? The activities that you can use are absolutely endless, and I'll tell you what, the children will find their own props, their own activities and actions to do far more quickly and easily than we will ourselves. And if your child is feeling a bit niggly, it doesn't matter, bath time doesn't have to be for the end of the day. Put your child in the bath. Just water play in there. You can just have that lovely calming down effect. We like our baths, it has that soother, does exactly the same for the children. But just as a reminder, wherever we're playing with water, children should not be left alone playing with water. Whether they're whether they're fully immersed with pouring and tipping and their activities, we as adults need to be close by with them. So have a fabulous time water playing. Bye-bye.